Granola on the shelf and bananas on the counter. Solar on the roof, hourglasses in the shower. Don't flex on the food elf who been frying up the flounder. I could coach you on the poach because the approach is not the...
What's up? So I was just working on some of the website content for the road trip experience, finishing up some stuff, and I decided that I wanted to make a video explaining some of the lyrics from the rap for Jellyside. Now, if you've seen the video for Jellyside, then you probably haven't heard the rap, but if you've listened to the full version of the song like on Spotify, or if you've downloaded it on Apple Music, then there's a pretty wordy rap going on in the bridge courtesy of Dangerous Myers. And I just wanted to talk about some of the lyrics in it and tell you some of the stories about it, because some of it is pretty like thick, like you wouldn't necessarily know what some of the references are. And my goal when I was doing this rap was just to like make something true to what it felt like to be at the Peanut Butter Palace. You know, like the first verse opens up talking about found a roach inside my kitchen last night. We used to have mad roaches going on at the Peanut Butter Palace. I'm gonna talk about that some more in the rap. But the first thing that's going on is granola on the shelf and bananas on the counter. There's always like a rush to eat all the bananas. So you used to try to, like when bananas came in at the PvP, you try to eat the bananas. You know what I'm saying? Quick. And then granola on the shelf. Like I was the only one that used to want to have granola, so I was always like, can we get some granola? And I'd be making granola and stuff like that. Granola on the shelf and bananas on the counter. Solar on the roof, hourglasses in the shower. We installed a couple of solar panels ourselves up on the roof, and I had this idea where to take shorter showers, I wanted to start doing that. I got some hourglasses and I attached some suction cups to them, and I put them in the shower so I could try to like just keep a little bit more perspective on how long I was taking the shower. So granola on the roof, bananas on the counter, solar on the roof, hourglasses in the shower.
Don't flex on the food elf who been frying up the flounder. I could coach you on the poach because the approach is not the coward. Cassava could've...
So don't flex on the food elf who been frying up your flounder. So what that means is like at the Peanut Butter Palace, there was always a food elf. And the food elf is somebody who throughout the week, you're not signed up to cook one of the nights, but your job for the week is to make something that people can kind of take on the go, like maybe you make a soup or you cook something extra that people can eat during the week. So that's what food elf is. So don't flex on the food elf. Like, don't get me in trouble if I'm the food elf. I can coach you on the poach, but the approach is not to cower. So the legendary roach poach of Peanut Butter Palace 2018 was an initiative started by a couple of us to gamify killing roaches, because we had a roach problem at the Peanut Butter Palace. We had a lot of great things going on, but the roach department was not good, and it was complete slaughter. Like once we kept score for how many roaches you killed, you got 5 points for big roaches, you got 3 points for like adolescent roaches, and you got 1 point for like the little teeny like roach to bees, you know. And so it was mayhem. Like we scored up like hundreds of points the first week, and then the roaches, like there was like less and less roaches, right? But then eventually they like came back. So we solved it for a little bit, but eventually we just got an exterminator.
Cassava could have killed me and the sorrels tasted...
Okay, cassava could have killed me and the sorrels tasting sour. One time I was making a smoothie at the Peanut Butter Palace, and the groceries level was low, and I was kind of scraping around for stuff, and I found what I thought was some banana in the fridge, and I put it in the thing for the smoothie, and I found some protein powder, and I put some peanut butter in there like I do, and I was gonna make this like smoothie with leftover stuff. Well, the problem was that it wasn't banana, it was cassava, and if you don't cook cassava, it's poisonous. And fortunately it was peeled, so there's a lot less of the cyanide in the cassava root. But I got sick after I ate it, and I'm like, man, like what is the deal? And then later somebody was like, do you know what happened to the cassava in the fridge or in the freezer? And I was like, no, I don't really know what that is. And everyone's always giving me a hard time because I don't know what stuff in the garden is at the Peanut Butter Palace, because I was like the guy on my laptop all the time. And then later I was like, yeah, I had this like really garbage like banana smoothie. I don't know what it was. I just found some bananas in the freezer. And Justin starts busting out laughing because he realized what happened, that I had eaten the cassava. So that's cassava could have killed me. And the sorrel's tasting sour. There's sorrel in the yard all over the place there. And it's like, it just looks like a clover, so I don't even remember what it looks like, but you eat it and it's like eating a sweet tart, and it's like my favorite thing from the garden at the PPP. I asked her then if God exists. She just picked up a flower. She just held up a flower. That's like a reference to a story I learned at the Buddhist temple where Buddha is like gonna teach, and like everybody's there to see him like speak about, I don't know, important stuff or whatever, and he just like holds up a flower, and there's this one dude that like thinks that's amazing. So that's, and I think like there are people there at the Peanut Butter Palace that taught me to like be present and not always need to have like a story or a narrative or whatever. So like I asked her then if God exists. She just held up a flower. Is like, that's just a vibe. I don't know. Oh, and then laptop day. I've been stretching every hour. That's just because I'm on my laptop too much. Lyrics of a life we're living is my superpower.
Been stretching every hour. Lyrics of a life we're living is my superpower. If it ain't
Alright, if it ain't NGC, then generally I'm in it. C, a ninja, he don't mess with Hennessy. I'm canceling my trip to Tennessee. So there's a lot going on here. NGC means not for general consumption. And in a co-op, if you buy some shit at the store that's not for everybody, you write NGC on it because you don't want other people to think that it's co-op food and to eat it because it will be gone quick. So you write NGC on it, you put it in the fridge, maybe on the NGC shelf if that's still going on, and then you know that you're safe. And if somebody eats it, then you like, you know, you write it on the board like who's eating all the NGC food, right? So if it ain't NGC, then generally I'm in it. C, a ninja, he don't mess with Hennessy because I never drink. I'm canceling my trip to Tennessee. Me and Angeline were supposed to go on this trip to Tennessee, and we're gonna go rock climbing. And she had some games to ref, and we canceled it.
If it ain't NGC, then generally I'm NSC. A ninja, he don't mess with Hennessy. I'm canceling my trip to Tennessee. About my business, need some space to track infinitely. No talking and chopping, barking, to stacking and rocking, walking is something that y'all can get in.
No talking, de-stocking, barking, no talking and chopping, barking, de-stocking it, rocking, walking it. No talking and chopping, barking, de-stocking it, rocking, walking it. That's just like a fun lyric about bok choy, honestly. That's like my favorite vegetable. I put that shit in everything. I'll cook it up like in a big wok. So that's what it says, de-stocking it, chopping it, de-stocking it, rocking, walking it, or something like that. So it's just like putting it in a big wok with a bunch of other veggies. Yeah.
Been infinite, so get in it. I've been living the benefit. I've been feeling unlimited. Been the front end, how Daisy distilling, killing the inner kid. I just
been infinite, so get in it. I've been living the benefit. I've been feeling unlimited. Been the front end, how Daisy distilling, killing the inner kid. That's just like bragging about being happy and stuff. I think been the front end how Daisy did. Daisy's another name I use for Haley, and it's just like symbolic. It's from The Great Gatsby. It's like her favorite book, and if you know Daisy in the book, like there's a connection for me, I guess, in my relationship to that person. And she crashed my car one time, and so been the front end how Daisy did, still ain't killing the inner kid. It was like a very it was like not a good experience for me. It was a very hard time in my life, but it's like about being resilient. And been the front end how Daisy did, still ain't killing the inner kid, because it's Jellyside Up, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a look through the song. Hope you enjoyed it, and peace.